It's fair to say that match types are one of the most important things when it comes to a WWE game, because without them, we'd be left with a pretty empty wrestling game, right? So having as many match types as possible is always great to see in WWE games, because we want that variety and also the ability to mimic what we see on TV into video game form. We have the usuals like ladder, table, Hell in a Cell, cage, Royal Rumble, and many others that we expect to see every year. But there are just some match types, however, that are pretty rare to see in the series, with some only having appeared just once in the last 23 years. So in this video, we're going to take a look back and see which in fact are the rarest match types to ever exist in a WWE video game. The rules of the video is that the My Rise, My Career and Showcase matches are allowed, but they have to be real matches, not just made up ones for the games only. We are of course also not going to include War Games, as it's just only been added to the game, so of course that's only going to be in one game so far. And to make this flow easier, we're going to stick to just the main series only, so that's the SmackDown to SmackDown vs Raw to WWE 2K series only. Join us now as WrestleGamia looks at 11 of the rarest match types in WWE Games history. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're the first to know when we upload a video. Number 1. The Last Ride Match. First up, the Last Ride Match, which can only be played in the My Career mode for 2K20, is the only time this match type has ever appeared in the WWE Games series. It's a pretty rare match type itself, only being done on TV 2 times ever, so getting it even as My Career exclusive was quite the surprise. It was never marketed during the run-up to 2K20's release, and it was just a random choice that you could pick when you go up against The Undertaker in the story mode. So what exactly even is a Last Ride Match? It's simple. Think of an ambulance match where you have to throw your opponent inside of an ambulance to win the match, only this one is about throwing your opponent into a hearse. It's a basic match type in WWE 2K20 My Career, with the hearse being near the stage and the match only ending when the cutscene has been triggered, so there's no actual minigame or exclusive gameplay to the match, just a cutscene. Number 2. Lumberjack Match. Lumberjack matches, as we all know, turn the ringside area into a sea of WWE superstars who will wait to throw those competing in the match back into the ring, though we do usually see them getting in a few digs before throwing them back into the ring. This match type, although being somewhat common on WWE TV, has only ever been featured in 5 WWE main series WWE games, and 2 of them were just as a Road to WrestleMania mode exclusive match type for SmackDown vs Raw 2010 and 2011 respectively. And in SmackDown Just Bring It, Shut Your Mouth and Here Comes the Pain, the match type was fully selectable with your own choice of characters in the ring and the surrounding ring. The match type was of course way more limited than what you'd see on TV, with only 4 superstars around the ring. Hopefully once more superstars can be on screen in the WWE games, we'll see this match type make a return. It's been over 20 years now since it was a selectable match type. Number 3. Bodybag Match. The Bodybag Match in 2K15 was the first and most likely only appearance of the match in a WWE game. It was only included for the Ultimate Warrior Showcase mode, which featured him going up against The Undertaker in the match. It was an interesting match to include and did feature at least some interactivity, with it even being possible to lose the match with a failed QTE response. And with it being a very rare match within a showcase mode that was DLC only that has long been deleted, you can put this up there as one of, if not the rarest match type in all WWE games. Number 4. Hair vs Hair Match. The Hair vs Hair Match is another exclusive that you can only find in this game, that being SmackDown Shut Your Mouth Season Mode. It has only ever appeared as a match type in the WWE game only. The match can only be triggered if you have nothing going on in your Season Mode career and are at the Judgment Day pay-per-view. If you're not going to do anything, then you'll meet Kurt Angle backstage and get into a back and forth, which concludes with Angle requesting a hair match against you on pay-per-view tonight. You'll accept, and no matter if you win or lose, you'll end up shaving Kurt Angle bald, which was a pretty fun way of unlocking the newly updated Kurt Angle, who had just been shaved bald that year by Edge and at the Judgment Day pay-per-view. We didn't expect to see it again and have yet to see it. We did kinda get it in 2K23, but that was a hair versus mask match, so you can maybe include it if you want. It's still a super rare match type in WWE games. Number 5. Ambulance Match. As a little known exclusive, the Ambulance Match made its debut in the DS version of SmackDown vs Raw 2010, which due to technical limitations was a completely different game to all other versions of SmackDown vs Raw 2010. But they didn't hold back due to the limitations and gave us exclusives such as this match type, which has only ever been in this game only and has never been included in any other game, making this a one-time only appearance in WWE Games history. The match type is what you'd expect. It's a simple button mashing head-to-head minigame type of match where you have to fill up the bar before your opponent who you're trying to lock in the ambulance. If you fill up the bar, then you'll close the ambulance and win the match. There's nothing much more to the match, but it's pretty cool that it at least appeared once, and on the DS game as well. Number 6. Casket Match. The Casket Match has been featured quite a few times on WWE TV, yet it's only made 2 appearances in the WWE Games series. The first being a random addition to SmackDown 2 when that game went match type crazy with the additions, but there wasn't much to this match type as all you had to do is throw your opponent into a casket, beat them up whilst they were clinging on until they let go, and the lid would randomly appear out of nowhere and shut on them and you win the match. It was included years later in 2K15 as a showcase match included and was done much better and more like how it's done on TV. The match worked all fine and surprisingly was not unlockable outside of this mode, with 2K15 being so quick to cut everything out of WWE 2K14, including this match definitely would have helped it even just a tiny bit. Number 7. Buried Alive Match. The Buried Alive match type is about as rare on TV as it is in WWE Games. It was added for the first time in SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 and was in 2007 and 2008, also before being removed in SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. It worked like an improved version of a casket match, but with buried alive themes like being on top of the dirt, a shovel being there as a weapon, and the casket being buried after closing the lid on the opponent. It returned as a showcase mode match exclusively for 2K16 as it featured Stone Cold Steve Austin vs Undertaker in '98. The match type looked and felt more like a buried alive match that you'd see on TV, with there being no casket and just a hole in the ground. All in all, it has only appeared in 4 games as a match type, and on WWE TV itself, the number comes really close with it just happening 5 times ever. Number 8. Inferno Match. The Inferno Match had been a highly requested match type for many years in WWE Games and was finally added in SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. The match worked exactly how you'd expect, with 4 walls of fire around the ring and the objective being to set your opponent on fire. Though you have the added gameplay feature of having to raise the temperature of flames before being able to set the opponent ablaze. Now if we include the 360 PS3 versions of 2K15, 16 and 17 which did retain this match type only in those versions, then this match has appeared in 9 WWE games, which is still pretty rare but not as rare as many of the others in this video. On TV this match has only happened 5 times, well 6 if you include the non-setting people on fire match dubbed the Ring of Fire match, so you can actually see this match more times in WWE games than on TV. Number 9. The I Quit Match. The I Quit Match is also a match type that is kinda rare in WWE games, but it's not super rare like some of the others in this video. It's appeared 10 times with it appearing in the PS1, PS2 and PS3 games and having been removed from WWE games not once, but twice. The objective is simple, just beat up the opponent until they have to say I quit. The match type was pretty basic in the early versions, but when it came back in WWE 13 it actually had a minigame and mechanics behind it, so it wasn't as basic as those other versions. It's a match that's not that rare anymore on TV, so it's surprising it's not been re-added to games. Number 10. 3 Stages of Hell Match. The 3 Stages of Hell match is about as rare in WWE games as it is on TV, with there being 6 appearances of the match in WWE games and only happening on TV 5 times, making it another one of those match types that appeared more in games than it did on TV. Though 2 of those times in WWE games, it wasn't a selectable match, it was just a showcase mode exclusive. In Shut Your Mouth up until being removed in SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, the 3 Stages of Hell match let you pick 3 matches to take place one after the other with 2 out of 3 falls rules set in place. Win the first 2 matches and you've won the match. Go 1 and 1 and you'll get the 3rd fall. This match type is super easy to include and makes 0 sense why it's only been in games as a selectable match type only 4 times. And number 11, Championship Scramble. Now this is a match type that has the exact same rarity as it had on TV. Well, kinda. The Championship Scramble match was a match type that debuted in SmackDown vs. Raw 2010 and was cut in WWE 2K14, having been in 4 games overall. The match has only happened 4 times on TV, with 3 of them happening on the same night. As the match type has not been used in over 4 years as 2K14 was about to release, the devs decided to just cut the match. It hasn't been seen since and likely won't be seen in games or on TV again. The match kinda got replaced by a better variant called the Iron Survivor Challenge, which has more of a chance of being added into the games. The Championship Scramble match was a simple concept. You have a champion, you have 4 challenges, and the match starts as a 1v1 with a new person entering every 5 minutes or so. And anyone who scores a fall throughout the match is the current champion. The person who is the champ when the time limit ends is the winner and the champion. But there you have it folks, 11 of the rarest WWE game match types. What would you want to see included in WWE 2K24? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling video game content.